Oh, welcome, my zealots, to another live stream. Yay, live stream. Yay, live stream. All right, so let me see here. Khan Academy. Why am I here? No, I need to. Welcome to the live stream. Yay, my channel. I need to go to my channel. I need to. It's always bumpy when I try and get this thing going. Oh, there we are. There's the live one. Woo! I got a new phone and I'm very excited about it. It might even be better quality than the last one. The last one had pretty good quality, so I don't know. You probably read the stuff on my walls now. Crazy. Before you couldn't, but you can now, I think. I don't know. Yeah, you think you can. Wow, that's crazy. It's really good quality. Oh, well. Anyway, so my boy, so I've been having really great dialogue with this dude named Victor Ko. And Victor Ko is a phenomenal dude because he always asks some of the craziest and awesome questions. And I think that we should cover them because there's a lot of them and we have like a lot of time to kill because we're doing a live stream and nobody's shown up yet. So I'm just going to do my thing. Sound good? Yeah, I'm down with that. So let me see if we can get to the beginning of this. All right. Okay, it's right here. Okay, so this is the thing. So we have, okay, he asks about, at the resurrection, people will neither be married nor be given in marriage. They will be like angels in heaven. Does this mean that there's no sex in heaven? That is a really great question. The problem is that there's this resurrection prophecy that there will be those that are undefiled by women. And I believe it's in a couple places. It's Jesus Christ makes a reference to it in the Gospels. It also makes a reference to it in Revelations. And it talks about how in the resurrection, there will be people that are undefiled by women. What about women? It doesn't say anything about the women. Okay, well, that's because the Bible rarely references women by themselves. Women are supposed to be attached to a man. Okay, anyway. So the point is that undefiled by women. So does that apply to everybody? No, it doesn't apply to everybody. In fact, specifically he's talking about the 144,000. In fact, let's look it up because it's a good thing to look up. It's in my Bible case. Here we are. 144,000. Actually, I could look it up in here. It'd be faster. I now have two phones, one that's gimpy and one that is not. Exit. Dun, dun, dun. Why is this being dumb? Okay, let's reframe that. Okay, so 144,000, they are undefiled by women. Oh, but are virgins. I wonder if I can do that. They are. Oh, okay, we got it. It's working now. They are. There we go. All right, kill that. I'm not actually killing the feed. I just kill the sound because I don't want to hear myself in dual. It'll like repeat itself over and over again. Anyway, so undefiled by, let's see, but are virgins. Let's see if that works. Revelations. Aha! And it's in Revelations 14:4. And it says, let's just go. I think we're going to start in 14:3. So I'm going to click on this and it goes, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn the song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These which go and follow the Lamb wheresoever he goeth, and these are redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto God and unto the Lamb. This is an interesting concept here because it's not saying that there's no sex, but they are virgins. See, there's a big distinction there. That means that they could have sex if they had wanted to, but they are not. They are virgins. So this is a distinction. The 144,000 are virgins, not everybody else. And then he says, you know that you are not married nor given in marriage. That married or given in marriage is in reference to who? Who is he talking to? Jews. Jews have a 144,000 resurrection. They missed that resurrection, they're toast. So yeah, that answer, hopefully that answers that question about the 144,000, because a lot of people make that mistake. And I just thought, you know what, we should cover everything that you talk about because you always have the coolest concepts and ideas. So what's next? What's next on the agenda? So anyway, so yes, there is no well, let's just do this backwards because it's hard to do it the other way. Okay. So it says here that he wants to know do you have to, okay, does God force you to become a pastor, to take a wife if you are to become a pastor? And this is an interesting concept because if you take, okay, so it goes, there are evangelists, pastors, teachers, prophets, and apostles. Okay, there are 5 gift ministries. And if you are in a gift ministry that is like evangelists, pastors, teachers, but I know prophets and apostles don't necessarily have to be married. And I'm pretty sure teachers don't have to be married either. But evangelists and pastors should. And the reason is because the evangelists and pastors have to lead the congregation. They're the ones that are, so it talks about the bishops and deacons. Basically the bishops and the deacons are the evangelists and pastors. And these are the people that are in charge of the home fellowships. You know, like, so originally the church had people that would go to specific homes and they would stay in these specific homes. And there would be 12 or more people in this home, or 12 or more men in this home. And then as the congregation grew and it got up to 24, as long as you had enough to split it into 12 people, then as soon as it got past 24, they would split it again and it would form 2 different congregations. This is weird. So anyway, but yeah, so that's why there is this division. Okay. So in order to be in charge of one of those congregations, in charge of one of those home fellowships or those home ministries, you need to have, in order to be those home ministries, you need to be able to have a wife and have kids because these homes have children in them. These homes have wives in them. And you can't lead a congregation unless you have a wife and children. It's just the way it works. So yeah. That's the concept of having the wife and child in the situations. Okay, so yes, but God is not going to force you to take a wife and a child. And then later on he's like, do you have to be married and have children to be teaching on the internet? And you have to understand, the reason that we're doing this is because we're supposed to lead by example. Okay, like I cannot tell. Like, I have been married, so I can talk on the subject, and I have had kids, so I have experience in the subject. So I know, and I've been persecuted by a wife, and my wife left me and divorced me, so I have a lot of experiences that I can dwell on and impart onto others. So I can lead by example. So yes, if a person does not have those examples or those life experiences, you can't really help people in need. You can't really tell people how to apply the Bible in certain situations that you've never really applied the Bible yourself. Can you still make videos? Yeah, because people that are going to watch them are going to watch them according to their limited understanding. Whatever their level of understanding is, that's what they're going to watch. And if you're some person that has never been married and he's given marriage advice, then he's not going to listen to you. And honestly, you probably shouldn't be giving marriage advice if you've never been married. But anyway, yeah, so you can still post videos. I mean, I see women posting videos all the time and they're not allowed to teach, but they always direct their teachings to women. And then whoever watches this is on them. So, if you make a video and say, oh, I'm making a video, I'm not married, I'm not blah, blah, blah. Listen to me at your own risk, but I am this and this is what I believe. And, I'm this many years old. And then, yeah, so there you go. What's next? Yeah, living off the ground. Okay, so he asks this really good question. He says, what does Jesus Christ mean by this? Now, I quote the second half of this verse all the time. And I always forget to quote the first part because the first part really gives it teeth. And I need to remember to do that. And what I normally quote is Many will say unto me in those last days, saying, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name drive out demons, and in thy name perform miracles? And I will say unto them, I never knew you. Get away from me, you workers of iniquity. What's awesome about this verse is because I always use this to say, like, there are going to be people that think that they're righteous and they're not. They have missed the boat and they don't know why. Well, it tells you why in verse 21. Verse 21, not everyone that says unto me, Lord, Lord, will enter into the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. You have to do the will of the Father. If you take away the words that are written within the book of this prophecy, your name should be taken out of the book of life. You want to do the will. So, and the people, it's like, well, I can't do it all. There's none righteous, no, not one. That's right. But what is the will of the Father if you sin? Well, the will of the Father is that you repent. And if you don't repent, you're in deep trouble. So you have to do the will of God, and you have to repent when you can't do the will of God. That's doing the Father's will. He's like, repent, repent, repent. It's super important. So many will say unto me in those last days, they think they are of God. They think they are righteous, but they have been picking and choosing, and it's going to send them to hell. And there's not much you can do about it. Yeah. So these are great questions, man. I could do it, but okay, what does this mean? About the resurrection of the dead, have you not read what God said to you? I am the God of Abraham, I am the God of Isaac, I am the God of Jacob. He is not the God of the dead, but of the living. What does that mean? Well, okay. So Jesus Christ is going off about the God of the living and the God of the dead. Okay, so he's like, I will be your God and you will be my prophet, or you will be my son, or you will be my whatever. And so God is a spirit, and in order for him to manifest himself in this world, he must have a vessel that is willing to submit to his will, to allow his will to be manifested in the world. Because he's not going to force himself into a world that doesn't want him. He's not that kind of guy. He's just a nice guy, and he's not going to be where he's not wanted. So he comes down, he needs somebody that wants to submit to him. So he's like, okay, who's there? And then these guys say, where is it? Oh, dang it. It died on me then. Okay, it says, okay, I'm the God of, so when a person dies, his vessel's gone. He's like, what? So in order for him to keep his vessels, he needs to keep them alive. This is why there's a resurrection. So he's like, I don't want you to die. I need the vessel. So he's like, poof, wake up. And you wake up, and then you're like, oh, I'm awake and I'm alive and I have physical, tangible things. And God does not want you to, in the Bible, there's no concept of spooky, ooky, pooky spirit realm. And then there's no concept of a Hades, 9 levels of hell concept either. Where the thing is, you have to understand, there's so many pagan concepts that got infused. The concept of heaven stems from Valhalla, which is dumb. It has nothing to do with the Bible at all. The heaven means up. Anyway, I digress. But the point is that when you die, you stay dead until Christ raises you from the dead. The only people that go up into the heavens are the kings, and that's at the next resurrection. Everybody else's resurrection happens on earth, and they don't go anywhere. They just like, oh, here I am, pop. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know what to tell you about that. So, yeah. So, God is a God of the living, not a God of the dead. There is no spirit life after death. If you are alive, you live, and if you are dead, you are dead. There is no life in death. God is your God. He will bring you back to life and not leave you without a body. So, anyway. Yeah. He asked about, like, if there's sex in heaven. Yes, there's sex in heaven. Only the 144,000. This is the thing, man. There has to be sex in heaven. And the reason is because women's purpose is to have babies. If a woman's not having babies, then they're not fulfilling the purpose. And you see that in the scriptures all the time. There's A woman needs to be submissive to a man in order to be serving her purpose. This is why, in order for women to take away their iniquity, they basically they say, "I will eat of my own bread and I will wear my own power. Just let me be called by thy name to take away my reproach." Yeah. So that's what needs to happen. Anyway, so that's that. Yeah, nobody's showing up today. It appears that it was no point in me coming on. It's all right though. It's all right. You know, I come on, and if nobody's here, I think that's all he had. All right. Well, then that. Oh, here's a good question. I love this one. How does God view modern Jews? Okay. It says, okay, it's how does God view modern Jews? This is an interesting concept because it says in Revelations 2, verse 9, it says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know they blaspheme of them, which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. Yes. Yeah, they're not Jews anymore. There's the Jews of, like, the time of the Jews is over. They don't get the 144,000 is already set. Those people that have the resurrection of the 144,000, that has already been set. Now, everybody that's here right now is fighting for king slots. There is king slots, and the more righteous you are, the better your king slot is. And then after that, you have the multitude slots. And during tribulation, you got to make sure that you're right on, because there's going to be only a few slots, or there's actually a lot of slots for the multitude. A vast amount of slots. A crazy amount of slots. It's going to be ridiculous. Can any person from Abraham's seed that believes in Joshua be classified as a Jew? Well, Abraham had a lot of children, and not all of them ended up being right, like the Jews. Abraham had a lot of kids. He was the father of many nations. The Jews did believe in the Messiah. They did not know that Jesus Christ was the Messiah. And the Jews, before Jesus Christ came, believed that the Messiah would come, and therefore they had to believe that the Messiah would remove all of their sin. So they believed that Jesus Christ, or not Jesus Christ, they believed the Messiah would remove their sin, and therefore they could have a resurrection. But they had to wait after Jesus Christ raised from the dead or saved them from their sins. They didn't really have the specifics, but they knew that the Messiah would come and save them from their sins. So that when they died, they knew they had to wait for the Messiah to come save them from their sins, and then they would get a resurrection, which is accurate, but there's large gaps of time in between. All right, man, I think that's it. There's been not any movement on this channel. Nobody showed up. Oh, well, that's great. All right, well, I guess this is it, man. Nobody's showing up. I don't know, man. Tell me if you want me to stop with the live streams. I mean, if we're not doing these things, if people aren't jumping on, I guess I can just keep doing them. And if people show up, they show up. But if nobody shows up after 15 minutes, man, I'm pretty much throwing in the towel. I mean, this is pointless. I don't really have a lot to talk about. These live streams are for you guys, not for me. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, personal issues, life dramas, anything concerning the Bible, let me know. Yeah. All right. You guys have a great day. Peace, love, and grooviness forever. Yeah, you know I love God because I love virtue, justice, and salvation. All right. Take it easy. Peace out. Bye. How do I turn this thing off? It's a new camera. Okay. Push that button.